Survivorship bias refers to the logical error of concentrating on the people, things, or data that made it past a certain selection process, while ignoring those that did not. This bias can lead to overly optimistic beliefs because the failures, which are often less visible, are not considered. In other words, survivorship bias skews our understanding of success by focusing on the survivors of a system or process while overlooking those that failed or were excluded. Survivorship bias occurs because humans naturally gravitate toward noticeable outcomes, often without realizing the full scope of what is being ignored. For instance, if someone studies successful businesses to learn the keys to success, they may miss the fact that many businesses with similar strategies failed. This happens because only the successful businesses are visible, while the unsuccessful ones have disappeared from consideration. Survivorship bias often appears in situations where data is incomplete and the overlooked information is just as important as what is visible. The danger of survivorship bias is that it distorts our understanding of reality. It can cause people to draw incorrect conclusions, make poor decisions, or set unrealistic expectations. For example, when people focus only on successful outcomes, they may underestimate the risks or challenges involved. This bias can affect fields ranging from history and science to finance and personal development. Now let's look at some examples of survivorship bias. One classic example is from World War II, when engineers analysed the damage to returning aircraft to determine how to strengthen them. They initially planned to reinforce the areas that showed the most bullet holes. However, they eventually realised that they needed to reinforce the areas with no damage on the returning planes, because planes hit in those areas were not making it back. This example highlights how focusing only on the survivors can lead to incorrect conclusions. Another example can be seen in the world of business. Many books and articles analyse the habits and strategies of successful companies, presenting them as a blueprint for success. However, this approach ignores the countless businesses that followed the same strategies but failed. This leads to a misunderstanding of what factors truly contribute to success, as it overlooks the role of luck, timing, and other external factors. A third example involves personal achievements. People often hear stories of individuals who dropped out of school and went on to become highly successful. This may inspire others to follow the same path, believing it to be a proven route to success. However, the stories of those who dropped out and struggled are less visible, leading to a distorted perception of the risks involved. Now let's explore some solutions to mitigate survivorship bias. The first solution is to actively seek out the invisible data or information that is often overlooked. For instance, when analysing a situation, consider the failures or those that did not survive the selection process. In research, this might mean looking at the reasons why certain cases failed, rather than only focusing on successes. This broader perspective can provide a more accurate understanding. Another solution is to use statistical methods and sampling techniques to ensure that all relevant data is considered. This involves designing studies that include both successes and failures, thereby reducing the risk of bias. For example, when studying the effectiveness of a strategy, researchers should compare the results across a wide range of cases, not just the successful ones. Finally, critical thinking and questioning assumptions can help combat survivorship bias. When presented with data or success stories, people should ask themselves whether there might be unseen factors influencing the results. They should consider whether the available information tells the whole story or if important details are missing. Being aware of survivorship bias and actively looking for alternative explanations can lead to better decisions and more realistic expectations.